In the brash birthplace of Dixieland Jazz, a pro football team began life on a high note. The New Orleans Saints marched into Tulane Stadium to do battle with the Los Angeles Rams. On the opening kickoff, the Saints performed with the sass that made the Crescent City famous, as John Gilliam raced 94 yards for a touchdown. But while their opening number was up-tempo, the Saints have been playing the blues ever since. In losing their first 7 games, the Saints recalled the baggy pants comedians who once thrived in the burlesque houses of New Orleans' naughty French Quarter. But the 1967 Saints boasted a colorful collection of scrappy characters. They became a home for the NFL's unwanted, wayward delinquents.
We were often referred to as, Boys Town on cleats in the NFL, and the Monty Stickles and the Fred Whittinghams and the Doug Atkins and the Steve Stonebreakers and on and on and on. We were a cross-sampling of what went on in the National Football League from every club. There was 2 or 3 of us from every franchise.
The old Saints were probably the renegades off of every team in the league at that time. We had virtually everyone that had a reputation of being a little bit nuts was down here.
Defensive end Doug Atkins had a crazy streak that ran through his mountainous frame.
One time, Doug and I were out having a few beers, and we came back. It was 10 o'clock at night, and it was just before curfew at 10:30, and there was a bunch of the rooks in the room playing their record players loud they could play it, and Doug told them to turn it down because our room was next door, and they said, "What's the matter, old man? You need your rest." Doug said, "No, what'd you say?" And one of the rookies said, "You need your rest?" He said, "Yeah, I do." And Doug, I didn't know he had a little pistol in his pocket, and he's pulled on and he shot the record player, and the record player just went,
Some free spirits were indestructible. Number 39, Ernie Wheelwright, was known as the Wheel. He possessed a slick running style. His hairstyle was even slicker.
He'd always have a stocking on his hair, because this was before the afros really got popular. He had his process on, so that stuff was slick back then, each side and shiny, and he had his stocking. And as soon as he got to Detroit or somewhere, that stocking came off and that tie and coat went on, and he was off running.
Ernie's hair was as well groomed as the hedge behind the south end zone at Tulane Stadium. Here and at every NFL stadium, the Saints took a crash course in the school of hard knocks. Over 400 players have known the dizzying disorientation of being a Saint, and many a strange bird has perched in the team's locker room.
Well, we picked up a punt returner. We were in bad need of one, and from Oakland, and he came in on a Saturday. He had just been released, and we had a game that night, so they just took him straight to the Superdome, and he didn't really have to learn any plays or anything, so he was going to catch punts that night. And he had a parrot on his shoulder when he came in and started meeting some of the guys. It was a beautiful parrot, and it was a little peculiar, but he's supposed to be a good return man, so what? And but I was just noticing, I was wondering what he was going to do with that parrot during the game. And we have nice dressing facilities there and a nice kind of a little cubby up in our lockers in the dome. And he's put his parrot up there in the locker. And someone asked him, was it just going to leave it there the whole game? He said, sure, he'll just sit there the whole game. Well, he dropped the first punt, and they never put him back in. So obviously he was going to get the axe. It was a one-night stand in New Orleans. When we went back in the dressing room after the game was over, that parrot was dead in the locker up there, just laid out.
One creature who has survived is Gumbo, the team mascot. Gumbo's sideline companions have included men of the cloth, trying to absolve the Saints' sins. Hollywood's Moses, Charlton Heston, never saw the Saints reach the promised land. and calling out the National Guard could not bring relief to the NFL's most consistently ravaged disaster area. For 17 seasons, a feverish epidemic of losing has plagued New Orleans, and 8 head coaches have searched in vain for a cure. The first was Hall of Fame receiver Tom Fears. Critics said he couldn't blow his own nose. They were wrong. Saints fans have always clung to hope, but after each disappointing season, optimism winds up in the garbage bags. One year, the garbage bags wound up on the fans. The New Orleans Saints have kept pace with the rest of the NFL, but their unique identity was formed in 1967 when the franchise took its first baby steps.
We played a lot of three-quarter games. We played that fourth quarter often in the French Quarter, but at least we made a reputation of a bunch of guys who were to be reckoned with, and I think that's what we all wanted to do.